This song is dedicated to everybody that ever doubted me. For everybody that ever said I couldn't make it. Well, now's my time. People been waiting for me to shine. It's been a long time coming, but been falling back. I had to get back on my grind. Better now than never, cause and left all them negative thoughts behind. Had to get right in my mind, but and this journey's been tough. I had a hell of a climb.
I want to welcome to the show Miss J Poo. Miss Genocide. What's up, mama?
Thank
welcome
you,
to the show, baby. I'm so glad you came. Hit the button up here.
Okay. That would do it.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
So again, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Please forgive our appearance today. Like I said, we're remodeling. We're trying to rip this out. We're building a whole new thing and stuff.
Necessary.
So you know what I mean. But yo, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Like I said, we don't bring just anyone up here. People earn their spots here, and you, by all means, definitely earn your spot here. So first and foremost, when did the musical journey begin for Genocide? Like when did it start? As a young child, maybe?
It did. And you actually called me J Poo. A lot of people don't know me by that.
Right,
It was
right.
like my rap name 20 years ago.
Right.
I did start in elementary school. I
Okay.
used to call myself MC Jenny. That was back when like the DARE program and all of that started back in school. We had a little group that we did a drug rap for, and ever since then, it's been MC Jenny to J Poo to Genocide.
What did DARE stand for again? It was Drug Addiction Resistance Education or something like that. My bad. I just remember seeing the bumper stickers and all that. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Book. Yeah.
For sure. So you've been doing it that long, huh?
Yeah, it's been going on around 20 years. I would say I really started back in 95, really pursuing the rap career. I used to sing as a young buck, but then it evolved to rapper. So
For sure.
back in high school is what really started it for me.
Word. And we'll get into that. For those who's listening or watching right now, who's not familiar with you, how would you describe your sound in words to those who aren't familiar with you, or your style, or your just overall you as an artist? How would you describe yourself?
I would like to think I have like a mellow hardcore kind of style. A lot of my material is based on life experiences. I have an old soul, so a lot of the music that I grew up on and my dad introduced me to has helped me flourish and write a lot of the music that you hear today.
Word.
One particular or two particular songs, One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston and It's My Turn by Diana Ross. Those two were like really inspirational for the Now's My Time song, because I grew up on them and it kind of had like that same soulful feeling. So I think I have a very soulful sound.
You do. You definitely do.
Aside from being a lyricist, I try to incorporate a lot of different genres into my music, which I think is good as an artist to show versatility. So
For sure. And you do it well. So we're going back, you talking about 95, 96, and back in high school, and you went to King, right? You were a product of King?
I did.
That's what's
I
up.
didn't actually graduate from King. I wound up getting kicked out.
I think that happens to all of us.
10th, 11th grade, I forget. But I did start a group there called Egypt with the known rapper Eve. A lot of people know, but our group was called Egypt, EDJP, which stood for Eva Destruction and J Poo at the time. And we actually recorded our first album as teenagers, which is still sitting.
Wow.
So seek the tapes. And it was a very growing experience for me as a teen, because I've never been in the studio before. I never even thought about recording music until I met Eve, and we just playing around, started coming up with music and doing talent shows and stuff like that in the city. So kind of got a little rep from that, battling in the lunchrooms and, you know, the whole banging on the table era where people would make beats in the lunchroom and we would just like spit, and we kind of were known as them chicks that you ain't want to mess with.
I clearly remember them days. Like we were talking, you know, I remember them days. Well, not I don't want to say too clearly because, you know, a lot of smoke in my head. But I do remember them days, and I do remember you two getting busy. We was even talking, I was telling you, I remember coming to a graduation party uptown years ago, and that's when I originally met y'all. But I remember hearing of you guys before that, and just your rep was all over at that time.
Yeah.
For sure, y'all was getting busy.
We had one of the WHYY talent shows back in the day. You remember that at Channel 12?
Yeah.
And they actually landed us a spot on Channel 48 back in the day. I forget the host name, the boy with the dreads.
Yeah. Damn, what is the boy name? I just saw him like 2 weeks ago at the old school concert.
Yeah, so.
Not Keith from up the block. Damn. I know you're talking about though. I know you're talking about.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we basically got our rep from doing talent shows and like winning them and basically making a name for ourselves from doing little shows around the city. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now going from like you said, you started off in the group. So going from in the group to becoming a solo artist, was that a hard transition for you from going from a group to being a solo artist?
Yeah, it was. I actually went to college right after high school. I went to Lincoln University. So in the midst of my studies, I was still trying to pursue being a rapper or an artist, but it was kind of hard with the school workload. So I did my own radio show at Lincoln, and it gave me an opportunity to actually interview other artists that was doing anything at the time. Like I remember I had Spado up there. I interviewed him. So I was still dibbling and dabbling, but I never full force put 2 feet in to do my own solo project. So, and that actually came years and years later after me even graduating from college. So
Word. Now, being a dope lyricist first and foremost, gender aside, doesn't matter. Female, male, whatever. But being a female MC, do you ever feel like it's hard to gain the respect of some of your male counterparts who, you know, this is a male predominantly genre of music. And do you ever find it hard to gain the respect of some males by being a female in this genre?
Honestly, I actually find it to be easier because being a female, you kind of like come in and you're distinctive amongst the males, so it's like you gotta get recognized because you're not another man, whereas it's like 50 men compared to one female, so you actually stand out being a female. But you do have to earn your spot, you know, to be in that circle. And I think that's what I had to do as a lyricist, to compete and be competitive with the men to gain, you know, their respect as an artist. So, you know, you see a female come in, of course you're gonna be like, well, what's up with her? So I kind of get the attention because I am a female, but to gain the respect, you gotta have the lyrics. So
word. I can relate to that.
It's like a win-win.
I can relate to that, being an MC of a white rapper in a sense. Back in the day, now they're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But back when I was doing things, you know, it was something to it. It was like, okay, they see me, but then when you kill it, it's like, so I can almost relate to that there. But while on the topic of female MCs though, it seems like in the mainstream aspect of it all, it always seems like they only allow 1 or 2 females to pop at a time. You ever notice that? Do you agree with that? And if so, why do you think that is? Like you said, there's 50 dudes all over buzzing, but it's always just 1 or 2 females they allow up in there.
Well, from my personal experience and what I've observed and what I hear other females say is like, we require a lot of maintenance, whereas men don't. We gotta get our nails done, hair did, makeup gotta be right, outfit, you know, the whole ordeal before we even bless the mic or bless the stage, you know. So we come with a little bit more, you know, maintenance than a man would. So it's kind of,
I got a makeup team.
yeah, it's kind of hard.
True that.
You know, when you got all these different women, fashion, and all different, you know, what the media likes and what the media think is, you know, popping right now. So, I mean, it's hard to really decipher why only a select few artists come up at one time. But I guess it's just like the way of the times, what's hot and what's not at that time, and if you could get your foot in the door to make a name for yourself, pretty much. So.
Yeah.
The killer is, like, back in the day, it wasn't like that, though. Because you had MC Lyte, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah.
Yeah, back in them days, yeah, true. But then somewhere
time.
along there, it started dwindling. And maybe it was a talent, maybe it was other things. But that's a great point, Miss.
I think it's like really who you affiliate yourself with. Like if you're already a part of a known squad, it's easier for you to get on and make a name for yourself as opposed to a indie artist that's grinding from the bottom that don't have nobody to back them, like, oh, this is my artist or she's a part of my clique, you know. So
For sure. Now you mentioned when you went to college after high school and you ended up graduating. What exactly did you major in while you was in college?
well, I have 2 master's degrees for those that don't know.
Masters. I mean, I just want to know the initial, John. Then I was going to ask you about your masters.
I got a bachelor's in business administration from Lincoln University, as well as my master's from Lincoln in finance and a master's from Lincoln in human resource management. So I did a whole bid at Lincoln, 8 years.
That's a hell of a bid right there. Now being a mother and a wife and someone who has to make a living, do you find that hard to juggle your music when you are holding down a household and you spreading yourself thin sometimes, maybe between the kids and hubby and work, and now you're trying to find studio time? How hard is it for you to juggle all that? I know it's gotta be tough.
It is hard. But fortunately for me, my family are my biggest fans and my biggest supporters.
Oh, that's what's up.
They're there with me in the trenches when I got the instrumentals playing and when I'm coming up with concepts and, chanting my choruses. Like, they're right there.
Word.
They're my #1 fan, so it makes it a little bit easier. And it actually makes me go harder because I know that I'm doing it for them. So
For sure.
I got the whole team involved. Shout out to my daughters, my husband. He's always riding with me. He's like my hype man.
That's what's up.
He knows all my lyrics. So
that's what's up.
It does get trying though, like with work, being in the studio, trying to promote the album or the project. It is. So you really just gotta have a balance and find your balance and what works for you.
Yeah. Now, like I was saying, we kind of come from the same era. Actually, not kind of. We come from the same era of hip hop and Philly and all that. Just real quick, what do you see as the big, being involved with it then and being involved with it today? What do you see as the big difference in not even just Philly hip hop, but hip hop in general, from the mid '90s to the mid 20? What do you call this? 10s.
Next millennium.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely have to say the unity with the artists. Back then, a lot of people could work outside of their barrier with different artists and it not be like a lot of rivalry the way that it is today. Like, it seems like this game has become so cutthroat and everybody's so crabs in the barrel, like to get to the top. It's like everybody's trying to step on each other's neck as opposed to working with that artist that has a different style and stuff like that to create good music. So even if we look at the rappers back in the day that had beef, they eventually wind up, being on songs together or collaborating, and that's not the way that it is today.
Word.
So the unity definitely has separated the game.
No doubt. So we're going to get, before we take this quick break, we're going to spin a few joints off of the new project, which we are going to talk about when we come back from the break. We're going to go to the John Dime a Dozen first. Just wanted to give you that heads up. What was, I love that song and I love your content on there. Like, what was your idea when you was penning that particular song, and as well as the video? The video's mad dope. Shout out to Gingy as well on the song. But we're going to get to that next. But real quick, tell us about it and then pretty much set it up so we can get into it.
So this song, Dime a Dozen, is off the album. I just dropped a new video. I was just like thumbing through some of my beats one day and was so captivated by this instrumental that it poured out a lot of my heart and my soul when I was writing. And just so happened I was at the Trocadero one night. I had never met Gingy, but I heard her on stage and I was like, yo, I need her on the track. Never met her, nothing, got her number. And for months we was putting it off. She came over to my crib. We kind of got the idea, but we never put it in stone. And it was like months and months later before we actually went in the studio and recorded it. And it was just like a masterpiece from the door.
I'm glad y'all did.
Shout out to Gingy. And with Barack on the front, you know, him expressing
hip-hop,
his feeling about hip hop kind of like really captivated me to make this like a marquee of who Genocide was.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
So,
I say let's get to that, man. Feed you spoon on them tables, y'all. Don't go nowhere. We're not finished.
Enjoy.
If you just tuned in, Genocide is in the building.
Yeah.
And she's not going nowhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about the new project. Let's go.
And, you know, the thing about hip hop today is.
Shout out to my president. Now's my time. And so we're gonna get back to it, man. How long were you working on that project?
Altogether, it took 2 years to release that project. I first started with the Now's My Time single, which was produced by my man Mont. It was in wave format. I could never format it to work with the verses. I wound up taking it over to my man Rock and Rollin'. He put it together for me. We laid the song, and it was just uphill from there. It took a while because we was like moving from studio and with, like you said, working and family life, and making sure everything sounded crisp and that it wasn't rushed.
For sure.
So it took a little minute, but I'm definitely pleased with the project and how it came out.
Word. How's the response been? How's the people, what are the people saying about it?
Well, last year I dropped the Now's My Time single. I kind of was getting a feeling like people was taking me as like an old school rapper from that song. So I had to hit them with the dime a dozen joint just to show them like I'm a little bit more harder, a little bit more lyrical than what some of y'all might have thought. So I've been getting really good responses. Surprisingly, Now's My Time has become like an anthem for me. It's like my chant now that people, you know, remember me by from that single. So what I thought was a corny single last year has become and flourished into a chant and an anthem for Genocide.
It's definitely dope. It's definitely dope. So when you I asked you earlier about your thought process in that particular song we were talking about, but overall, when you decided to start this project, what message were you trying to get across overall? What was your thought process behind the whole project as a whole? It's a body of work.
I really wanted to show the humility in me as an artist. A lot of people get misled from sexuality, being too revealing as a female. I just wanted to show women that you didn't have to show your ass and your boobs to be noticed out here in the industry. Like you could still spit and be noticed from your lyrics and you know, whatever you look like, and still be accepted in the game. So I'm kind of trying to preserve the humility for women and let them know that you don't have to come outside and be something other that you are to get your music heard and for people to appreciate it.
That's real dope. And it shined through too, and I think you executed what you set out to do. That's dope. So listening to the project, I noticed you got the good brother Slaughter Rico on a few tracks, who's no stranger to the show. Been on here a handful of times.
Shout out to Slaughter Rico.
What's your relationship like as far as music and all that with Slaughter? Again, every time I see him performing, it seems like you're on stage with him or vice versa. How did that friendship or relationship music-wise come about? And what does it mean to you to be rocking with someone as dope and, you know, in my eyes, a legendary MC as Slaughter?
Slaughter and I actually have crossed paths when we were younger. We actually have a mutual friend and he worked on some of her music back in the day, and I was always a big fan of this one song that he done with her. And he remembers seeing me, but at the time I had a dude, so I really wasn't like paying no other dudes no attention, even though we was like right near each other. But just like maybe 3 years ago, I had reached out to him, letting him know like, hey, I love that song that you were on with my friend or whatever. I wanted to team up with him and work on something. So he indeed came through, and one night we sat up for hours just playing instrumentals, like going back and forth, you know, spitting. And he's really been a big influence and a big support system for me, helping me out, being there for me, encouraging me, even times when I felt like quitting and vice versa. So we really are like each other's crutch in this game, you know. He's kind of like my male counterpart, as you could say. I'm like the female version of him, and he's like the male version of me. All of us is 79ers, so you know we come from that era. We grew up on a lot of the same music and TV shows, so we incorporate a lot of that in our music. I put him down with certain stuff that he used, but shout out to Slaughter. I really don't think I could have put this project out without him. You know, man. So I appreciate the songs that he came through and blessed for me on the album, and look forward to some more stuff from me and him working on this, you know, project with just us. So
I was gonna say that. I was thinking that maybe
keep your ear to the ground.
Bonnie and Clyde type
we already
thing
2 songs in, so
make sure we get the premiere one of them songs when they're ready, man. But so besides Slaughter, what other guest appearances do you have on the new album Now's My Time?
I want to shout out to my producers, Rock and Roll and Vax Morpheus, Cat in the Hat, and Lamont, first and foremost for the production. I got Gingy Miles on there. I got my daughters on there.
Yeah, you do.
My cousin Pam, Coco Bliss is on there. I got Nadira Noorjahan, which is a singer. She's on there. Bishop of the Loudspeakers, he's on there. I got Mysterious Tia. She's doing an interlude with some of her spoken word for me on there. So I had a chance to work with some really talented artists to help me pull this thing together, and I'm really blessed.
That's what's up. Now, I know every song you pen is your baby, but is there a personal favorite on there that means the most to you, that, you know,
it is?
That's your one. Which one would it be?
It's All I Can Say.
Okay.
It's kind of like a love song, you could say, but it is inspired from my feelings towards a particular man, and it kind of manifested itself into song. But the instruments that my producer plays on that joint just makes me, it just reminds me of a symphony. Like, it's such a powerful song. So
it's very dope.
I'm gonna definitely say All I Can Say is one of my favorites.
Okay. No doubt. That's definitely a dope joint. So if you had, say you had to perform tomorrow, you had a show wherever, and you had to pick 5 joints to perform off of the album though, what 5 joints would you perform at your show?
So undoubtedly, Now's My Time.
Of course.
The Stalker song with Slaughter. I would say Heard It All Before. I've been getting a lot of good responses. A lot of people like the Fall Back song. And a lot of people like Hero with Bishop.
Hero's dope.
Yeah, that's
Hero's very dope.
So they would probably be like my top 5 performances.
Word.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Now, for those who just tuned in, we're talking to Genocide. We're talking about a new album, which is titled Now's My Time. And at this point in time, I want you to let them know where can they get the project. You got physical copies on deck personally, right? But they can also order some online?
Yes, the album is now available for download on cdbaby.com, which distributes to iTunes and Google Play, Amazon MP3, Shazam, Rhapsody. So anywhere where y'all can download it digitally, that's where the album is.
No doubt.
The best way I would say is to go through CD Baby and just type in Genocide with a J, and you can find all my projects on there.
No doubt. I recommend y'all doing that too. It's a very solid project, well thought out, thought provoking, and it has so much substance to it that is, to me, is refreshing to get an album like that in 2015. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and jump into the OT portion. We talked about your past. We talked about what led you up to today. We talked about the project. And so now we're just going to have a little fun, just a little small stuff. But just to let your fans as well as our listeners get to know you a little bit more.
No doubt.
So taking it back to when you was a child, what was the first rap song that you remember or that you memorized by heart, that you remember like you knew almost word for word, give or take, however far back you can go?
It really wasn't that far back because it was Nas's New York State of Mind.
Word.
I had wrote my first 16 off that song. So what that was like maybe like 94-ish, 95 when the
right?
Illmatic album dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember sitting in my room at my dad's crib and I put that little verse together off that song, and that's been like my anthem ever since.
Word. So, and Now's My Time, the actual song, you mentioned in the joint early in the song that you know, sitting back eating penny candy and all of that. What was your favorite penny candy back in the day? You remember all that?
I'm gonna have to say Sour Patch Kids or the Cherry Balls.
Oh, the cherry joint, not the hot
cherry
joint.
balls, not the hot
Okay,
joints,
yeah.
but the regular cherry
Right.
balls. And then they had like the peach rings.
Oh, them peach
Yeah.
rings.
I'm probably the reason why they stopped selling penny candy, like with
Yeah.
some real stuff.
Yo,
Because
these
I used
kids
to be
don't
in that
even
joint.
know.
Let me get one Sour Patch, one Swedish Fish. They like, no,
yeah.
we making 25 cent bags. I ain't got time for all this.
See, I was the type, give me 100 of them.
Yeah.
But no, I feel you. You was a little picky. You want a little
Yeah.
bit, just a little bit of that.
The
You know what I mean?
the 3 cookies for a nickel. I used to put them on my finger and eat them off my finger. Like
For sure. So back again, because we're talking about back in the day. As a child, Saturday mornings were major when you're young, when you're a kid. What was your favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Can you remember that?
Saturday morning, I know the Smurfs
Smurfs was the
definitely
bomb.
came on Saturday. But throughout the week before school, I would sit at the table eating my cereal and we would watch Heathcliff, my brother
Heathcliff
and sister.
Was the truth.
Yeah. My dad was a trash picker, so we had a TV in every room, the bathroom, kitchen, everywhere.
That's
So
what's up.
we used to argue who would sit closest to the television in the morning before school. And
Yeah, Heathcliff was one of my favorites too, growing up, man.
Still a classic. I still
sure.
watch Heathcliff.
I think, where did I see that? I think it's on.
You probably see me post a picture or something with me watching it one day. I love
But it's on. I
Heathcliff.
think it's on Netflix or something. I was somewhere recently where they were streaming them.
That's my nickname, so I don't watch
On
it.
YouTube, they
Mike
definitely
said that's
got
his
all the
nickname.
episodes.
That's what my
So,
mom used to call me. Heathcliff.
But I'm a girly girl, you know. I grew up on the Punky Brewster and Jim,
Tony.
Punky Brewster
Rainbow
was the truth.
Bright,
Word.
Kids Incorporated.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That was Feedy shit.
I come from that era, so
For sure. That's what's
Zoobly
up.
Zoo.
So yeah, Zoobly Zoo was the shit.
Yeah.
So when you were sitting down watching your favorite cartoon, what was your favorite bowl of cereal to have in the morning growing up?
I can't even remember us having a popular cereal. Like we had no money, we had no frills, and from the welfare line, and my mom used to stand in at the church or whatever to get
Right.
the big joint of peanut butter and all that. So
Yeah, don't
I
worry.
think
My
it
mom
probably
was in
been
them lines,
Kicks or
too.
Cheerios. It wasn't
what I'm
nothing
saying.
fancy.
Some of the Wick joints, hey, we all had
Throw
them
no
joints.
sugar on it.
Yeah,
You got Frosted
banging.
Flakes.
But we was just talking about that with our last interview. Was talking about that.
Yeah,
I
the
think-
big block of cheese that
Yeah.
you had to. When you melted it, that cheese was
Oh,
the
that
shit
cheese was
though.
bomb. Yeah, big macaroni and cheese with the welfare
Yes,
cheese.
the powdered milk, all of that. Like,
For
yeah.
sure. Now, if you could go, I know you want to perform all over the world, but
Yeah.
if you could perform at one place right now, anywhere in the world, where would it be? First place.
Detroit.
Really? Why Detroit?
Yeah. Or Chicago, I would say one of those cities. It seems like those cities have birthed so many musical legends. Like I just want to go back and feel, you know, that essence of all those artists that came out of there. Like
I feel you.
to bless
Yeah.
them same stages that a lot of the musical, you know, talent that we
sure.
grew up off of. So
Okay. Now, I got 2 more actually. So, your team came to you and told you that they got a huge budget for you on the next album. You can go out and get a feature from anybody in the world, anybody, any genre, any whatever.
Yeah.
Who would it be? Who you gonna
I wouldn't
do
even
that
have to
song
think
with?
too hard. It would have to be my baby Nas.
Nasty
I love
Nas?
me some Nas.
Word.
He is like a musical genius, lyrical genius to me.
sure.
I've seen him throughout the years surpass so many artists lyrically, and not to be on him like per se physically, but I am so attracted to his music and
For
what
sure.
he does, and I would love to one day even to see Slaughter get on the song with him would make me just as happy.
For sure.
So.
I feel you. I mean, you can't go wrong with Nasty Nas.
Yes.
But all right, same question, but a producer. You can get any producer in the world to work on one song with. Who would be the first one you would want to work with?
I would say Primo.
That's how you know she a
is
hip hop chick
one
right
of my
there.
favorite. I love Guru. You know, rest in peace, Guru. Just listening to him over the years and that deadly combination, I would love to get me a Primo beat under my belt just to bless.
I can hear you all on that too. Can definitely hear you all on
Yes.
that. So if you just tuned in or you tuned in late, don't worry. This interview will be posted on YouTube for you to check out in the future, and make sure you share it and all that good stuff.
Yes.
If you happen to be watching right now on YouTube, this is Genocide. She has a dope new album. It's titled Now's My Time, and now's your time to again let them know where they can find it. Send out your links, send out your Twitters, anything your last words you want to.
I want to give a shout out first to where I'm from, Uptown, Somerville.
UPT,
Homicide, Somerville, never ran, never will. All my homies that been down with me since day one, that know me since the J-Poo era. But you can follow me. I'm on everything Genocide. Instagram is Genocide Jenny. Twitter is just Genocide. I have my own band page on Facebook, Genocide. And on YouTube is Genocide Jenny as well, where you can check out all my videos, the documentary, and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you check out our Facebook page, I've been sharing some of her videos and all that, and I'll make sure I do that in the next coming days as well. I want to share the documentary. I forgot to share that.
Yeah.
Definitely got to check the documentary out. It's really dope. So again, it's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for coming. And once you're on the show with your family, so Fidi already has your joint stored, so I'm sure he's going to be spinning his favorite joints throughout the course of the next X amount of months and weeks, however.
Please support real hip hop, y'all. Like, it's strength in numbers. I would never or even dream about making it without the support from all you guys. So if y'all could just share it, comment, repost, whatever, just to support me would really be a big help, and I really appreciate all that. So
no doubt. One thing's for sure, you got our support, and you got our back. Oh, we got your back. So again, it's the Takeover at 10. Now's My Time, available on CD Baby as well. If you get with us, I'll put you on physically so you can grab it.
We make it drop-offs, CODs, all that.
All that.
Hit me up. I'll come personally autograph that joint for you.
Early.
No
man,
problem.
I should have brought mine so you could have autographed mine, man.
I got some with me now. We could swap, whatever.
Cool.
This song is dedicated to everybody that ever doubted me. For everybody that ever said I couldn't make it. Well, now's my time. People been waiting for me to shine. It's been a long time coming, but been falling back. I had to get back on my grind. Better now than ever, cause and left all them negative thoughts behind. Had to get right in my mind, but and this journey's been tough. I had a hell of a climb, but I can't stop now, cause